The Cache Valley Media Group's countdown of the top 25 Aggie football players for 2023. Coming in at number 23 is an offensive lineman who has not seen a lot of time yet on scrimmage downs, but the Aggies certainly hope he'll fit in there this year, is offensive lineman Wyatt Bowles, a two-year letter winner from Syracuse High School and West Point, Utah. At number 23 on the list, Wyatt Bowles, offensive lineman.
Now, Wyatt Bowles, kind of like Xavion Steele at number 24. Here's another guy who has spent a lot of time on special teams, but that's how guys get ready to move up to be starters. That's how they learn, how they grow, how they develop into being more regular down players for their teams. And looks like Wyatt Bowles could be positioned to do that. We heard Cooper Legas when he was at Media Day in Las Vegas give a little bit of a shout out to Wyatt. Just here's a guy that's played in every game last year, mostly on special teams, but he did get involved in a couple of games. He played 8 snaps on the offensive line when the Aggies were at Alabama. So he's one of those guys that has spent time in the system, understanding the speed, the cadence of Division I football, and getting himself ready to be an impact player on the offensive line for Utah State.
Yeah, funny thing is, at least according to Pro Football Focus, back in 2018, that was actually the most snaps he'd played on offense. But then in the years after that, there were some pretty good interior offensive linemen, couldn't quite make the jump. So he's had to bide his time playing mostly on, like the field goal protection unit, stuff like that. So that's where he's seen a lot of his snaps. But heck, we saw Wade Meacham step in last year. He hadn't really played at all prior to last year. Steps in, starts at left guard every game, or at least every game he played. I think he played in all 13 games. 12 or 13 appearances, started every one of them. And he was doing it as a senior. That was his first action. Wyatt Bowles, similar situation. It's not a guarantee he'll start, but he's certainly in the battle there for probably right guard, but even left guard where Wade Meacham's at is there's a bit of a position battle. So Wyatt Bowles, even if he doesn't start, I imagine he'll be in the rotation.
Right.
Because they're not just going to pick 5 offensive linemen and roll them for every snap the entire year.
No.
And so I think
especially at the pace Blake Anderson wants to play.
Yeah, definitely. So considering there is that fight at the guard positions, somebody's going to start, but then others are going to play. We saw that last year. Wade Meacham started, but didn't necessarily play every snap. We saw guys like Filipuli Alo, who's now starting at center. They would rotate in, and so they had 4 interior offensive linemen that they were kind of rotating through the guard and center positions. So even if Bowles doesn't start, he's going to play.
The thing about Bowles, besides just the kind of easing his way into this position, because we saw some other offensive linemen over the last few years ease their way into being starters or more regular rotation guys on that offensive front coming from special teams. Bowles has great size to be a good offensive lineman. 6'5", 290 pounds, big body. He's going to take up a lot of space and provide, part of a big wall in front of Cooper Legas.
Yeah, see, his size, initially I was just kind of going off size when I was kind of going through looking at what positions these guys would play, because I hadn't seen Bowles, so I don't know, what position does he play. I thought he was a tackle, but he's more likely going to be an interior offensive lineman, even at 6'5". But yeah, dang near 300 pounds, so he's obviously had a lot of time to work on his body, build, good weight, not just being 290 pounds, but being a good 290 pounds. Having some good length, and maybe being able to use that to open up some holes on that interior offensive line.
So Wyatt Bowles coming in at number 23 on our list. He wears number 60 on his jersey and likely to be a contributor on the offensive line for Utah State in the 2023 football season.